Did you guys catch that gist about SHEIN and those chemicals in their clothes? Well, welcome to my Salvia YouTube channel. We share relatable ways you can level up your health. A friend of mine asked me something that honestly made me think some more. And I went to do some research. She said, okay, but if those clothes have chemicals, can you actually remove the chemicals? And then I started to dig. Guy, you see that fresh new clothes smell we like? That's chemicals though. When I looked right into it, what I found was actually a bit unsettling, because most of us think, oh, as long as it's cotton or linen, it should be fine. Like, that's what I actually thought. We assume that natural fabrics automatically means safe, but that's not exactly how it works. And what I didn't realize is that before your clothes even get to you, they have already gone through a lot of chemical processing, not just dyes, but things added to make the fabric sometimes not wrinkled, feel soft, resist stains, and even last longer on the shelf. Yes. So the real issue is not, are there chemicals? Because yes, there usually are. The real question is, what kind of chemicals are we dealing with? And where exactly are they sitting? Are they sitting on the fabric or in the fabric? So we're going to break this down simply. When we say chemicals on clothes, we're not talking about just one thing. It's actually a mix of different treatments. For example, you have things like formaldehyde resins, and they make clothes wrinkle-free or easy care. And then you have dyes, especially those ones that are darker or very bright clothes. When you wash new clothes, sometimes the water changes color, right? And then we have finishing agents. These are added to make the fabric feel softer, smoother, and then in some cases stain resistant. For cotton are natural, right? But cottons are usually treated with so many pesticides and stuff. So it's not just one chemical we are dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of chemicals, and not all chemicals behave the same way. Some of them sit on the fabric, so they're easier to wash off, and some of them are bonded with the fabric itself, meaning that they don't rinse out very quickly like that. Let's talk about washing, because I considered that washing should remove the chemicals, but that's not exactly true. Washing is helpful, but not a perfect fix. And what you can do is remove a good amount of the chemicals that are sitting on the surface. After washing your clothes, it's definitely better than before, but you know that some of them are already bonded, and those ones don't just wash out like that. They are designed to stay even after washing in several cycles. Some of those chemicals will still be there. It's more accurate to think of washing as reducing your exposure, not eliminating it completely. In fact, with proper washing, you might remove maybe 50 to 80% of the surface residue, but not everything. Let me show you how to wash your clothes in a way that it reduces as much of those chemicals as possible. Nothing complicated, I promise, just a few tweaks. Step 1. Your first wash is the most important wash. Don't just throw your clothes in and rinse. Use warm or hot water if the fabric allows, and then add your regular detergent plus 1 cup of baking soda. Baking soda pulls out most of the surface chemicals, especially that new clothes smell. Step 2. Vinegar rinse, either in the second wash or rinse cycle. Add about 1 cup of white vinegar. What that does is that it breaks down the remaining residues, and it also softens the fabric naturally. Step 3. Sun dry. I know not everybody does this all the time, but if you can, let your clothes dry under sunlight. Sunlight actually helps degrade some of those leftover chemicals, and it's naturally antibacterial. Step 4. Don't stop at one wash. This is where most people miss it. For things like new clothes, bed sheets, underwears, try to wash them at least 2 or 3 times before regular use. I know how you feel about this one, but it can be done. Now, if you want to go a step further, this one is optional. You can do something like activated charcoal soak. It helps bind some of the toxins out of the fabric. But I won't lie, it can be messy. So this is more for people who are very sensitive and you want to go the extra mile. But honestly, even doing the first few steps properly, you've already done a lot. Even after washing properly, there are some clothes that you should still be a bit careful with, because sometimes the signs are right there. You just have to pay attention. For example, if a fabric still has a strong chemical smell after 2 or 3 washes, that is a red flag. At that point, it's not just a surface chemical anymore. It means that some of those chemicals, some of those treatments are deeply embedded. Another thing is you can check the label. If you see things like wrinkle-free, non-iron, stain resistant, just know that those features don't come naturally. They usually come from chemical treatments designed to stay on the fabric even after several washes. And then there's a feeling of the fabric itself. You know, all those stiff coated fabrics, and they can be cotton or linen, but they are very stiff. It's a sign that something has been added to it. So at that point, it's not even about trying to wash it better. It's about being mindful of how often that fabric is in contact with your skin, especially for things like underwear, sleepwears, bed sheets. With all of this, it's very easy to start feeling like, okay, so I have to detox every single piece of clothing I own. And honestly, no, that's not the goal. The goal is not to be perfect. It's reducing your exposure in a smart way. Because when you think about it, not all clothes interact with your body the same way, right? If you are going to prioritize anything, just focus on those ones that have longer contact time. You know, the ones I've mentioned. I mentioned the underwears of bed sheets, right? And then your gym wear, and obviously baby clothes are very important. Those ones that have those long-term contact with your skin. And I mentioned baby clothes, right? Because they are sensitive. But if it's a jacket, it's not urgent. You don't have to control everything. Just start by being intentional about the things that touch your body the most. That alone reduces your overall exposure significantly. So when we bring everything together to answer our questions, yes, washing your clothes does help. You can remove a good amount of those surface chemicals if done with baking soda and vinegar in succession. Do them one at a time. And note that the goal is not for you to live in fear, but for you to make better choices. So maybe now you can start washing your new clothes a bit more intentionally. Maybe pay more attention to how certain fabrics feel or even smell, and gradually you can begin to choose better. In fact, recently I bought some clothes. I didn't even bother. I went to get my baking soda, my vinegar, everything is ready. I'm going to wash them because I'm thinking about reducing my own exposure. Anyway, I'm curious, have you ever noticed that strong chemical smell in your new clothes before? Is this something you're just starting to think about? Let me know in the comments. And if this video was helpful, share with someone you love and subscribe to this page. I'll see you guys in my next video.